Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Grand Rising, Wealthy Rising. We are here today. It's about to go down, y'all. Man, it's your favorite icon up in the building. It is 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm right here in the beautiful city of Jacksonville, Florida, my second home away from home. Want to send a major shout out to my hometown, the 77 Deuce, Fort Pills. You already know what time it is, Lewis County. It's your favorite icon, the Icon 6 here. We here this morning, man. It's not going to be long, but we about to have us a nice power, half an hour or whatever it is, because the spirit gave me something to bring to the table. And I wanted to do it here on the Circle of the Gods.6 or Circle of the Gods.6, which is the second channel on my YouTube um, platform. So today I was going through some of my old stuff from prison, some literature that I was reading, things that I had. The Spirit blessed me to create myself. I have in my possession something that I took out, that I came up with myself while I was in prison, and it is entitled The Six Sacred Vows of Love, Respect, and Commitment for a Man and Woman. A black man and woman specifically, but for man and woman in general. Things that the masculine principle and the feminine principle should be aware of, things that we should be thinking about. Um, and to approach this, I mean, I know when the spirit gave it to me, and sometimes the spirit gives us things and we don't quite understand what we have. Um, but for some reason, the conduit, us, the mind, is already programmed to really do it. And it's not a bad thing. But when you finish the work, it's like, who's going to accept it? And then the mind be like, man, I did all this. Who's going to accept it? It don't matter who accepted it or who don't accept it. What does matter is, did you allow yourself to be used as a conduit so that the spirit of truth could move through you and channel through you information that could be useful to those that find it useful for themselves. So I'm going to share a little bit of that there today while we in this space. Thank everybody for being here. To those that see this on the replay, because I'm definitely gonna, after I finish this, I'm definitely gonna send it out at some point today or tomorrow, that people can have access to it. My platforms are public, meaning that anyone can see this, anyone can hear this. So I know I'm open up for um to be criticized, critiqued, and whatever, and that's fine. It comes with the territory. And just because there's a critique, and even if there is a disagreement or different of understanding or perception, that don't mean that that's disrespectful. It just means people have their own perceptions and own thoughts about the things that I'm about to say, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And if anybody so happen to comes into this space and we're talking, and for any reason you leave a comment that's showing that you may disagree, please do it respectfully, because I don't really expect, because that word expectation is a we're gonna get into that at some point. That word expectation, I don't want to put expectations on people. You're gonna be what you are and be who you are. Just always know and remember, those who control the mic control the space. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to be as fair as I can be inside of my spaces. I want to be upfront, transparent, truthful. This is an adult space. And today I want to dedicate this one to the men, to the brothers. But it's always information that's inside of it that is for the sisters too. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to this basic principle things that we all should really be focused on. But the reason I want to focus it more on the men today uh, is because I am really striving very hard to create that circle of masculine principled men, okay, who has a man mentality, who understands their weaknesses, their strengths, you know, who understands that we can no longer operate in the same mentality that we have. We got to go back to the drawing board and we got to rethink this thing. because a lot of stuff is happening and it's happening real fast. And the integrity and the character and those things that should make up a good man and make up a good woman is being thrown to the side, and it's starting to evaporate into thin air. So respect and peace and love, community is almost a relic of the past, and we can't have that. That's not natural, and that's not in the best interest of the people. The self community has to be the object, the point of object that we're pointing to, not to somebody else, but to the self first, before we step outside of that realm and begin to give our opinions and voice our concerns and start giving instructions and giving advice and giving solutions. Solutions must start within the self community first. If you don't test this out on yourself, if you don't go through the struggle and the pain of the correction that the truth is going to take you through, then it's crazy to step out in front of somebody else and do it. And we have a lot of people that do that, and I happen to be one of them. The only thing that I can say about myself, that I can't speak for everybody else, and if to those that hear this here, if it resonate, it resonate. I know, stepping into the spotlight, that the magnifying glass is on me. I want it to be on me because I can talk about me. I can say a lot of things about me that if I said it about somebody else, they probably get offended. And I get it. Nobody wants to be the focal point of a discussion, especially when you're talking about something dealing with self-improvement, character, and all these different things, because up under the socially constructed negative programming, we've all done some crazy things and some despicable things and some things that we just don't want to come out that closet. I get it. I'm not telling you to go out and confess your sins to nobody. That's between you and the creator. But what I am saying is we got to take an honest look at the self and the circle of the gods. .6. I'm going to get into that whole story about how the creator gave that to me, in the intervention while I was in federal prison, creating a circle, a classroom atmosphere, but in peace, where people can think, because we've been living in chaos so long, we don't know how to think anymore. The chaos has become the norm, and we stressed and we depressed, walking around with post-traumatic syndrome. Our children got it because they live in a frightening world. And so we have to revisit. So I want to speak to the men. I need for the soldiers, the real men, the masculine principle men, to come back to the drawing board, come back to the table, and let's get into the mentality of rebuilding or learning how to build if you've never learned how to build. And in most cases, none of us really never knew how to build a solid foundation that we can build a world upon, that because we've been living in somebody else's world all our physical fleshly life. And it's been that way for our ancestors for quite some time too, or any person that comes up under the tyranny of someone else, perpetrating to be the most high. But we are all God's children of the most high God, and every God ain't a good God. Okay? You got some evil ones too. And don't take the God to mean most high. There's a difference in that. Some may disagree with that, but this is what it is. I'm giving my perception. I'm not saying it's edged in stone. I'm not saying it's the only way to think, but I'm going to do what I got to do in this space that I have because the creator gave me this mission and this assignment. So, with that being said, I want to introduce a couple of words today. The circle of the gods for the brothers, bringing the masculine principle, the military aspect of who we are. And when I say military, the militant that's in us, the masculine principle to be strong. You know what I'm saying? The creator created us in such a way, that it's easy because of the physicality of us. You know what I'm saying? We was built for hard things. We was built for tough things. And this earth that we live on, it has some very tough spots in it. Okay, places, man, that's rock and river and ocean and you name it, tough terrain out here. So the human species had to be built a certain way. The feminine principle built with a physical body that has muscles in it, not as hard as the man, but firm enough to be able to take care of business. And they can grow and they can get strong and be, but the man naturally defense system. We can see that in nature clearly. The male principle in most cases is the lead because they lead from a position of physicality. That means protection and providing the protection so that the family unit can do what it needs to do in peace. That means the man got to always be on watch because his job gonna be the most devastating because he might have to go to war with somebody that's trying to attack the woman and attack the child. Okay, and she can fight. Let's not get it. She is a pronoun, but the feminine principle. She's equipped to do a lot of different things, but in a sane and radical and a rational point. We don't want to have our women out here struggling and fighting, and we need our sisters to know. Put your hands down. I don't need you blowing up out there because right now the psychological warfare that's being played is to trick you out of your peace, trick you out of your freedom, trick you out of your life. Because when things trigger us, we go straight to the emotion because that's the programming. It takes you straight to the emotion. And the emotion, depending on what it is, it may rile you up that when law enforcement is talking to you, you will lose your damn cool. What the hell are they stopping me for? You ain't got no business. Keep your damn calm and your cool. Children and women and men, it's psychological warfare and it's all about provoking because to those who are being utilized behind the badge, they got to make money to feed their families and take care of things that they want to. So the programming got them on attack for those who they are really protecting. And it ain't the common people, that's the facade. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have cases of our law enforcement unaliving people that if you took it in a courtroom, quote unquote, and technically, it would be called murder. And no, I'm not going to get away from the senseless shit that we do to each other. That's criminal. Unbecoming of men and women of integrity. And integrity is the first word on my list. And then I have character. Then I have obedient, militant, humble, and submissive, respectful and dependable, faithful, grounded, reliable, cooperative, trustworthy, alert. See, in my studies in prison, I came into information that gave me more of an organized mind. I didn't perfect it, but I learned a lot from it. Okay. And I try to utilize it in the greater parts of my life, and I have had some great success with that, meaning it helped me come back out here into society and stay out here. I have no desire to go back into the prison system for criminality. I stand with the people. I stand on good intent, and I move with that intent to make sure my actions are done in a way that is not harmful to the best of my ability, not harmful to anybody else. I don't need to rob and steal and sell drugs and do all that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling it foolishness because it's a trick. It'll trick you out your life. Now, there's a lot of different things outside of that there can be considered foolishness. I get it. Case in point, people that don't smoke and don't drink. To them, if you drink and if you smoke, man, hey, man, that's some foolishness. But to you, you might say, well, I may do that, but I do it within the confines of my own home. I ain't bother nobody. Meaning, whatever devilishment that may come from that there, I'm in a space where I can contain it. And if I'm using the rule of thumb that I've accepted in life, modesty, everything must be done in moderation because it's only when we exceed the limits that we get in trouble. And exceeding the limit is an emotional thing. So this world is designed to keep us moving from stress through programming, and that means lack or scarcity. Because of that word scarcity and lack, and people controlling the outcome of natural resources, that poverty can become a man-made thing that's enforced on people around the globe is a sin in itself. There's no integrity in the people that do this. Their character is of a beast and demon. They obedient to lies and falsehood. They are super militant because they ready to go unalive anything that will get in their bloodthirsty way. You don't find them to be humble and submissive and respectful and dependable. It's not in the beast to be humble. The beast is chaotic. The beast, he can pretend now, because we're gonna talk about that deceitful one that put on the front, and we all do it at times in our life, where you hide like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, we have potential for good and bad. This is a fact. So we live in a world where those that run it, for the most part, in their minds and amongst their people, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And I can't be mad at that. How can anybody be mad at somebody that want more for themselves and their progeny and their future and want to be in a position of power and control, to live like you want to live and do what you want to do, even if it's evil? Because there's a lot of evil go on. But when you're in a position where you running and you calling a shot, you can do it and get away with shit. And that's what's been happening. The things that's been gotten away with is the destruction of the people. But it's not one entity's fault. The responsibility falls on all of us. And this is what the creator was channeling to me in my intervention in prison. You have to look in that mirror, Ron, Icon, Brother Muhammad, whatever it is that they want that you put on yourself in name, that is. You still gonna have to go face to face with who you are. And then you're gonna have to go inside yourself. Because if you are not a man or woman that's a principled person that has no integrity, your character is all broke up and messed up, and you ain't even trying to fix it. You just like wallowing in the mud and in the filth like a pig, a hog. Obedient to nothing that's good and right and that'll take you to the next plateau, that peace could be established. No obedience to truth. Always obedient to lies and falsehood. And we wonder why we're in a hellish condition. There, why you live. You talking about you don't want to go to hell after you die. What about the hell that you live in every day while you live and conscious of it? You burning in a fire that don't go out, and it don't consume you. Not your flesh, but it consumes your mental and spiritual self, which is your real self. Oh man, we here to do this today. We are 19 minutes into this. I'm not gonna drag this out long. I'm gonna do this in pieces from time to time. Come in, because I want the brothers to come to the table. I don't want no more of us that's leading, no more of us that are content creators, those of us that stand in front of people. Listen, I know you got to do what you got to do. And I'm not here to tell you not to do what you got to do. But what I'm saying is, if you seeing what I'm seeing out here, then we got to become the measuring stick for each other. If we're going to be out front, we can't just keep coming to these airways and making it about sports and entertainment all the fucking time, when so many scientific things are going on, when things are going on in politics that we should be aware of, because it affects us, our children, the women, the children, your neighborhoods, how the police force gonna work, how our military gonna work, who's gonna be in business, who's benefiting, how to get involved with the economics, that you don't be an economic slave consumer all your life. And if you so choose to be there because you want to be ignorant, or you just refuse to hear any truth, then you get what you earn. No sympathy will come to you. No sympathy will come to you at all. So I want to get this in, and I'm putting these words out here because I want everyone that hears this broadcast Go back and look these words up for yourself. You don't heard them thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of times. How many times have you heard the word integrity? Come on, man. Hmm? How many times have you used it to apply to yourself or to somebody else that you know? Hmm? So I want you to go back and take the word integrity, character, obedient, militant, faithful, grounded, reliable, cooperative, trustworthy, alert, humble and submissive, respectful and dependable. Go back and research those words. Get the definition. And then ask yourself, does these words apply to you? And if they don't, why not? What is the source of that which kept you away from the understanding of what those good elements are within those words, those constructed words, right? Okay. And then we'll come back the next time and I'm gonna actually go through these words with you, but I want to give you a head start, right? So you'll know in the next conversation that we have on this subject matter, which is gonna be uh extended, maybe a couple installments, because I want to really get into it because I want to get into the six, that's SIX, my number, the icon six. The six sacred vows of love, respect, and commitment for a man and woman, specifically black man and woman, but in general, all man and woman. If it don't apply to you, don't worry about it. If it apply to you, let's get with it. Let's push the narrative. Let's let it become a part of the conversation. And if you just don't give a damn about nothing I'm saying, don't even make a comment. Because if you do, I'm gonna scratch that shit. I'm gonna get you about it. So okay, I want to read this here because this is what was on my mind when I was in prison. As I became more aware and more conscious of things, um, especially the things that I had been involved in myself, my own life. Uh, I had to really go inside myself to do the most critical thing that I could have done in my whole entire prison bid, and that was really find out what the hell led me there. Why did I think the things that I thought? And why did it move me into action and to do the things that I done, which led me out of society for 28 years, 1 month, and 2 weeks? Where I've seen people lose their lives in a situation called prison, never make it back home, and men and women that's sitting there for the rest of their life. And that's just one thing, because you got some people in the hospital that's there for many different reasons as well. All not good things, unless it's a natural thing. We got men and women and children in these places, and graveyards, which is the final resting place for the flesh. And I say the flesh because we still have to have this conversation about the mental and the spiritual, the energy. Because that ain't what you taking to put back in that dirt. You ain't taking the energy to put back in the dirt, the consciousness and putting it in the dirt. You taking the flesh and putting it back in the dirt. But we're not gonna go there right now. What I want to do is I want to take the time while I have the time here, and I want to just read this to you. You'll have access to this here because one, you subscribe to me. So you're gonna get the notification. If you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe. I'm trying to do something here and do my part as a brother, as a man, as a person that don't been through some things, that have worthy information, that's not afraid to open up my life to the extent that I'm gonna open it up and be vulnerable to share because I want to help people that's on the ledge that's about to make the worst decision in their life, that may take their lives or take their freedom or take the lives of somebody else and their freedom, because we be grouping up a lot of the time. And most of the time, those that leading us, the intent might be coming from a place they think is good, but the actions, man, the mode of action may be totally off. And that's where I was, you know. So I want to speak to that element of it. The six sacred vows of love, respect, and commitment for a man and a woman. And this is a contract that I sat down one day and I said, I want to do something, man. And I wanted to be visual. I wanted to be something that if it got in the hands of a couple, a man and a woman, a wife and a husband, a boyfriend and girlfriend, or just men and women in general, that they can read it and at least have something programmed in their mind that would compel them to move in a better direction, that will benefit in a positive way themselves as individuals and themselves as a collective and a group. And if we want the society to get right again, we got to get back to what the creator gave us, man. We got to stop playing and allowing people to play the games of semantics with us and be grouping and making up a bunch of shit because you feel a certain type of way. What does the creator have to say about that, though? What does the Most High have to say? What does nature and the laws of nature have to say about that? And to those that get mad because I'm saying natural or nature or anything like that, then you're gonna already manifest yourself to be arrogant and rebellious instead of listening. Because irregardless if you've chosen or decided to do something or accept something that may be out of the natural way, which is the creator's direct handout to us and what we should be doing and not doing, whatever that preference is, that's something that you can go back and critique in your life. And if you still feel the same way you feel, do what you do, but stop letting that be a hindrance to other people. And I speak this from both sides because sometimes it gets to a sexual thing. You know what I'm saying? People make it about a sexual thing. But okay, we're gonna be fair even in that if we got integrity and character, because let's say heterosexual. I'm gonna use the heterosexual because I'm a straight person. Okay. I shouldn't still be out here promoting all this, you know, things I do behind the closed doors if it's not for educational purposes out here to talk to our people that may be running amok and losing their lives because there's no discipline or there's no safer way to do what they need to do because they ain't using reason and common sense or no intelligence here. They just moving off negative programming, which been being promoted to us day in and day out. There's not a second that go by where titties and ass ain't being flashed in front of us, or some man's muscles and pec and some dominance through money that ain't been pushed to you, that is a medium of exchange for your purity, your body, your come on, man. Like we gotta make this make some sense. We can't just be out here lollygagging and just going through like, or you could. And most people probably will. And I know some may be saying, man, shut the hell up, man. You went to prison, old head, get the fuck out of here. Everybody should be able to express themselves, and I want you to. But the question is, know why you're doing certain things. That's all I'm saying. Whether you agree or don't agree. It's not up to me to determine whether you understand what I'm saying or you gonna agree or not. You have every right to disagree. But if you are a person of character, if you got any integrity, if you got anything in you that says be obedient to truth and what's right, then what I'm saying makes perfect sense. And if it don't, you need to be here. Just stay here. Don't go nowhere because you might be right on the verge of hearing something that can take you to the next level where you've been stalling out. Because that's what I do. I'm a student. I stay in the classroom. I heard a master student say this and a powerful leader. Happy 93. I'm gonna say it like that. All praises be to the Most High. So let me read this here, and I'm gonna get ready to shut this thing down. All right. The 6 sacred vows of love, respect, and commitment. I'm going straight through with it. You know what I'm saying? No breakdown, no nothing. We could do that on the next installment. And the contract goes like this: I insert your name on the line because this is a contract you're making to yourself. Okay, it's for yourself, but it's gonna benefit those around you as well. Right? Keep that in mind. It's a contract to yourself, but a contract that will benefit everybody else around you. I, Ronald Smith, come now, being of sound mind and body, swear on this day of blank, blank, blank to honor and live up to the vows of commitment put forth now in this contract and or covenant of good faith to myself, family, community, and people. I understand by taking these vows, I am committing myself to a higher standard and purpose in life. That if I should fail to live up to these vows, which are holy, designed to establish an unbreakable bond between Black men, women, and children specifically, but all men, women, and children in general, and create a more stable environment for our families and communities, I would have failed myself and forfeited my right to be a voice among my peers, family, friends, associates, and community. I further understand that it is a privilege to be allowed to represent to the world a true image of a strong, loving, dedicated, respectful, family orientated, civilized, hardworking, lover of education, and maintainer of life and property I am as a Black man and or woman. Specifically, but all man and woman in general. Hmm? I take these vows of my own free will, not being pressured by any man, woman, organization, or government, because I see the benefit and or benefits that I stand to gain by participating in a small but significant role in empowerment of myself, family, and community. Signature and a witness signature. Find you somebody that you trust, that you love, that you know love you back. You understand me? Because y'all done been through some things, but you still stand strong. You found a way to resolve things and keep moving. You know they real. Do this in the presence of them. So you'll have a witness. Then stand firm and move forward. And that's just the contract aspect of it. It is 33 minutes. We 33 minutes in. When I come back on the next installment, I'm going to go into the actual 6 sacred vows. Okay? The 6 sacred vows. This is the contract, and these are the vows. I'm going to just read one for now. The 6 sacred vows, point 1. I vow to love, respect, and maintain myself at the highest level of morality within my power, to feed my mind good and positive thoughts and information, to feed my body nutritious foods that will promote good health and provide me with a more healthier and longer life, to feed my spirit the type of righteousness that will allow me to sustain a wealth of rightly guided energy that will bring peace, happiness, and joy, not only to myself, but to those whom I come into contact with. To reflect often on the importance of loving myself first, that I may learn to love others. All right. And that's point number 1. We got 5 more points with that there. I'm going to come back the next time. Spirit going to move me to come do it. Excuse me, I make a little refreshment for the throat. And come in and have these kinds of conversations, man, because these kinds of conversations, they cover relationships, they cover finance, they cover political positions, they cover religious positions. And I'm not the most religious guy, but I do respect because I grew up in it. So I understand that aspect of it. But I don't want to kind of tie myself down to anything that's gonna make me become somebody that's divided from my brother and sister because of the acceptance of a title. You know what I'm saying? Me. So I don't try to get into that part, but I do try to respect all those who are religious and have their rituals and things that they do. And anything that we can do together to help any situation uh, become better for us and the people, let's do that. You know, I'm willing to do that with anybody. You know what I'm saying? For the growth and development of mine, that one can have more power and control over the faculty of their own mind, hell yeah, I'm with any of that. Don't matter what your religion is or your nationality or your so-called color, because all these are constructs anyway. Put that in your search engine. But when we come back the next time, and the spirit gonna move me and let me know when that need to be, and it's not gonna be long, trust me, because it's time for me to start going into my archives and digging up some of the stuff that I was feeding my mind. You know what I'm saying? And tell you what was happening before I became before the intervention came and what I was doing. Because I was back there in the prison still thinking I was on the street, still smoking and getting into shit, about to catch another case in the damn prison. You know, so it's a lot of different things. And I don't want people to have to go to prison to learn what this is, but there gonna be some, man, where it might be the only place or the last result for you that might save your life. You know, and I know there are some mothers and fathers out here that pray, I'd rather see my son in prison than to see him dead, or see my daughter in prison than see her dead. But either one of those places, in the prison, you got time. It's a part of hell, but it's a hell that you can come back from. If the creator so choose that for your life. Okay. And everybody that don't became conscious in prison, I want to say this here, not because I'm on the other side, but some, even when you become conscious, even when you start to do the right thing, there may still be no out for you on this side. Continue. And it's crazy I got to say this here, man, because it hurt, because I've done a substantial amount of time. And for anybody to be in prison, man, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 70 years, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and for some of the crimes that we see, that today, if it was caught, it wouldn't even be a crime. We have cases like that. I'm not the most high, so you know, my feelings for things that happen to children, I'm sorry. I can't give no leeway for those that hurt children and older people. That's between you and the creative. I'm just saying, you ain't gonna pretty much find no luck, because when you hurt children, man, that's a different type of blasphemous type of thing. Like, you disrespect Holy Spirit when you mess with the children, excuse me. And older people that can't defend themselves, and people that don't have that fighting spirit in them to just be fighting and stuff, then you're bullying people at this point. Live and let live. Let people live. And let's start to clean up some of the mess that's out here that's being promoted and marketed to us in this capitalistic society, that we got to keep spending money on all this stuff. And let's get back to the basics. Men, I need for us, and I'm saying me first, because I damn sure need to come back to this table, man, and start the rebuilding process. The creator gave me too much, and to whom much is given, much is required. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be coming on here preaching and whatnot. That ain't my lane. I got some brothers that do that, and they do it. I'm going to call out 3 names right now. Anthony Sanders, Bishop, my brother, Fort Pierce, Florida. Salute to him and his family. Reuben Mitchell, my brother, right there on 19th Street and D in Fort Pierce, Florida. Triumph the Church and Kingdom of God in Christ. Tracy Williams, WJOTC, I think that's what it is. If I said that wrong, Tracy, please forgive me. These are just 3 men that I know, that I grew up with, that lived the life. 2 of them to the extent that they was in the streets. Another one, he lived and he struggled. But I love the fact that the creator keep them close to something that will be a beacon of light for them, and that they can be a beacon of light for other people. I'm a little bit more rugged in what I do. Some may say, man, you on that revolutionary. See, revolution ain't a bad word. They'll make you think it's bad. They revolving. The enemy is wrapped up in revolution. He's not trying to devolve, even though he already at a position where he already a savage, because of the savage thing that he do, and have the audacity to call somebody else savages. No, the savage is the ones that control the narrative. You don't want peace in the world. That's evident. You don't want no peace in the world. You ain't finna be no minister, no rabbi, no sheik, and no imam, and all this here, and you know evil is going on, but you ain't gonna step up to the plate. You know you can't be no politician or the president, and even the ones that control all of them people in this structure. You're a savage. with potential. But that's not up to me. That's between you and the creator. If you think your arms are long enough to box with God, keep doing what you're doing. Because it don't matter who you try to get rid of that come tell the truth or want to display it or talk about how the truth brought them back from the fringes of hell that you placed here through your manipulation, but not even judging you, just saying you have an opportunity to correct that and can make the world a better place. But you play science and you play God and you talk about you talk about necessary evils that you do. The gods are watching. Green light to those who are the children of light. Keep being a light, keep being a source, and keep standing in front of that mirror. Because you should be your first case study, and you should always be in the classroom studying the self, making the adjustments, and humbling yourself when you see the truth and know the truth within yourself, to stop being a god dang on coward and running from the truth and hiding because the fear of some physical thing that can happen. Don't get it twisted. I'm not sitting here saying I'm the most bravest person in the world. Fear jump up in my heart too, and fear could be a deterrent or a savior. Now I'm just saying it depends on the context, situation. But we shouldn't always let that make us run from the right things to do. You don't want to, as a Christian, deal with a Muslim because you scared of what your pastor gonna say or what the congregation of your so-called friends gonna say. You don't want to mess with a Haitian person or a Dominican person or an African person or African American or whatever. We have all this damn shit in our head. We don't want to deal with each other because we scared of what somebody in our neighborhood gonna say. And I get it. You don't want to be singled out in your neighborhood where everybody hate on another nationality and they point you out. But if we eradicated that shit in all of these communities, man, we wouldn't even have that problem. So to those that want to solve the problem, you're on the right side. To those that don't, and those that don't use their voices or their authorities to help, we already know who you are. You work on behalf of something that's molding something. Don't get it wrong. And I don't want to get into that too because people might think I'm crazy. Because the devil, he had a job to do. The devil has a job to do, and the devil gonna do his job. And people, y'all need to understand the devil do his job in the church, the devil do his job in the mosque, the devil do his job in the synagogue, the devil do his job in all these governments, nationalities, nations, where it make you focus so much on the physical and the flesh that you forget about your spirit and mental, which is where the power is at. That's why they want to keep that locked down. So you have no power, no voice, no ability to reconnect to each other. When we connected to each other, just like in the Avatar, remember them trees, the tree of life? I think they had trees and they can connect, or the tree could heal and bring back to life and do all kinds of stuff. We can't even do that no more because we so disenfranchised and against every damn thing that could bring us together. You so proud of your flag. Look at my flag. I'm I'm Hispanic and I'm proud. I'm Asian, I'm proud. I'm white and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm Democrat and I'm proud. I'm Republican, I'm proud. I'm independent, I'm proud. I'm rich, I'm proud. I'm poor, I'm mad as hell, but I'm proud. Men, let's get back to the table and do some rebuilding. Let's get into the 6 sacred laws. Let's sign the contract. Let's give it a try. We've given every other damn thing a try. You don't try everything but the truth. And it is the truth that is said will set you free. Okay. I got to get up out of here, y'all. We 45 minutes into this thing. It's been live. It's been real. I will be back. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Circleofthegods.6. We are the City Network, which is the mother channel right here in these YouTube streets. We're here to talk about social constructs. We're here to expose negative programming. Understand that there is positive programming that's in the programming. You understand me? But you got to know what it is and how to say it, because in plain sight, they'll give you stuff for you to advance, and we don't even know what it is because we was never given it in the first place. You understand what I'm talking about? And we're going to be here, and we're going to do this. I am the Icon 6, remolded, rebranded, and I'm not running. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing unless they try to force me out the situation. Because I'm not here to tell nobody to hurt nobody. I'm not here to tell nobody to manipulate nobody. I'm not here saying, give me your money, even though business is necessary. No nation within the confines of these structures can advance without that paper. That's why they made it a central position in peace. So let's stop throwing our damn money away on everything that don't benefit us or bring us together, bring heaven to us. Let's stop playing games. And we need the masculine principle, those men that have those soldier qualities, those militant qualities that's in them. We need to reignite this in us. We are the first line of offense and defense when it comes to protecting our families, our communities. Every person of knowledge knows this. They know this. And you can't just go anywhere in places where people know this here and disrespect their situation. They're going to have something for you. So, brothers, sisters, specifically, so-called black men, women, Negroes, niggas, whatever it is the hell we keep calling ourselves or being allowed to be called. Right? Specifically, we need to get it back together. In general, any man and woman that's doing something that's outside the character of what nature intended, you too got to come back to the table. So we can start stripping away these damn things that cause us to be separated here. That's making everything out here separate. And then it's all of this damn competition. The type of competition that don't breed love and breed the type of bonds in the mind to bring people together. Because grass out there. But anyway, we will be back. Keep your eyes open for it. I will be posting the next time I be here, and we're gonna be dealing with the actual 6 sacred laws. I read one on the clothing. I'll read it one more time, that first vow, so you'll know what I'm about to get into. And then I will do a recap next time I come just to get us back where we was. But that first vow is very important. And this is something that I wrote myself while I was in prison, to myself, a contract to myself. And I want to share it with the family. My first vow: I vow to love, respect, and maintain myself at the highest level of morality within my power, to feed my mind good and positive thoughts and information, to feed my body nutritious foods that will promote good health and provide me with a more healthier and longer life, to feed my spirit the type of righteousness that will allow me to sustain a wealth of rightly guided energy that will bring peace, happiness, and joy, not only to myself, but to those whom I come into contact with, to reflect often on the importance of loving myself first, that I may learn to love others. And with that being said, I got to get up out of here, y'all. Make sure you subscribe. It's free. Make sure you leave comments. Whenever you come in the room, please leave comments if you want to get involved with what I got going on, because I'm always looking for real men, real women, adult men and women that want to come into the space to have real adult conversation about things that's really happening, and people that's willing to stand in front of the mirror, that know how to take responsibility when they don't done something wrong and hold themselves accountable. That's not always ready to step into the space and start pointing fingers and saying, your problem, you did it, you did it. What about you, yourself? What part did you play in your own hurt, your own pain? Because that's where you got to start, not outside yourself. You can't fix nothing outside of yourself until you fix what's inside yourself. Once you fix you, everything else gonna fall into place. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. And I'm not out here no multi-millionaire rich person. Nah, I can't buy you no Jaguar, none of that shit. But I can give you something more important than that. And that's a peace of mind. And then once you get that peace of mind, when you do go out and get involved in life, when you do go out and you're looking for them cars, if you still want to get that Jag, you'll know why you getting it. If you want to get that nice big house, you'll know why you get it. And if you just modest and you cool with just having the basics, long as there's security in your life and peace, and you can thrive and grow, Godspeed. I'm up out of here. It's the icon, always doing what I do. Y'all see y'all next time. Y'all have a beautiful rest of y'all day. God bless y'all. I'm out. Peace.